Adventure in London, Green Battista Marotti, illustrated by Chele Eritica. Eric Mom was never late, but after the last bell in Garland's birth, middle school and had run. Eric and his cousin Sasa were still waiting to be picked up. She's probably working, Eric said. His mom was driver Ralph Guy at Great Smoky Mountain National Park. Sometimes tourists show up without warning and she squeezed them into her schedule. Should I call my mom? Sasha asked. No, it's okay, Eric said. Mom never leaves me stranded. Just then, an old green station wagon pulled up and screeched to a stop. Woman with enormous sunglasses popped her head out. Hop in, you two, she shouted. Oh, Isa, the cousin exclaimed. They had not seen her Aunt Isa saying she left for Amazon rainforest 6 months earlier. She was their mom, youngest and widest sister. She was always traveling and had explored much of the world on her trip. Sorry, I'm late. I went to elementary school first. Oops. Out is as loud as Eric and Sasa climbing. Your mom is working. So it's just this weekend, she said, waggling her eyebrow at Eric. Eric smiled, but as Aunt Isa hit the gas, he looked out the window and sighed. Weekend plan with his mom would never be postponed, would have to be postponed again. After taking Sasa to soccer practice, Aunt Isa and Eric headed home. His house left felt different with her there, more alive. The radio was playing, the window was open, and even at night, his lazy old dog seemed more energetic. Should we bake brownies? She asked. Blow bubble, brew a volcano. I'm too old for that stuff. Eric rolled his son into the couch. Aunt Isa squeezed his shoulder. You know, your mom would be there if she could. I know, Eric replied. But the weekend was going to be so fun. Who said it won't be? Aunt Isa demanded, hand on her hip. In fact, I just had a brilliant idea. 10 minutes later, a car hung outside. Eric peeked out the window. It was a taxi. They must have the wrong address, he said. But when he turned around, Aunt Isa was looking suitcase toward the door. Grab your shoe or we'll miss our flight, she said. Our flight? Eric exclaimed. When did his aunt have time to plan a trip? He ran out the door after her. A den of scenery will be just the ticket. Aunt Isa declared, entering the taxi. To the airport, please, and then to London. London? Eric scrambled into the taxi too. London is in my whole different country. Aunt Isa winked. Exactly. What about a plane ticket? Hotel reservation? Eric asked. Oh, things will work out. They always do. The taxi pulled away. Are you sure this is okay with my mom? Eric insisted. What life without a little adventure? Aunt Isa replied. It was Eric's first flight overseas, and the view crossing the ocean took his breath away. I can't believe this is real, he whispered as the plane landed and the pilot welcomed them to London. First, the subway in London is called the Tube. Aunt Isa explained, breezing through the turnstile. Eric blinked. Has he even squeezed a ticket? The turnstile let him through, too. Maybe Aunt Isa had prepared their fate. He didn't have time to wonder. The train arrived and everyone was bored. Somehow, despite the crowded, Aunt Isa grabbed the last two, and few stops later, they reached a hotel where the entrance Bao Hop grabbed the bag and led them to a room without stopping at the front desk before Eric could catch his breath. They were back outside on the street of London. What a plan? He asked. Why don't we play it by ear? Asked Ethan. Get it? They began with a stroll along the River Thames Tower Bridge with its 30 stone terrace called Eric Eye. He stopped by the river bank to admire it. Fancy a lift? Called a voice from below. It was a man in a rowboat with two life vests on the empty seat. It seemed to be good to be true, but Eric was beginning to realize that traveling without Isa led to all kinds of crazy coincidences. They hopped aboard, and the man rowed them up the Thames. Something about his face looked strangely familiar. Now we're beneath London Bridge, the boatman said. A short time later, he pointed that close Tetre Avenue of William Shakespeare and his famous play. And this a Millennium Bridge, a bit modern for my taste, I must say. Eric and now Isa hop out at the next bridge. We Mr. The boatman waved his hand. Suddenly, Eric recognized him. Was that William Shakespeare? Eric asked in disbelief. Oh, he is an old friend, answered Isa replied with a smile. Westminster, Westminster Bridge was beautiful, but the rest of the Big Ben. The tower had a clock face on every side, keeping time for the entire city. Can you believe it still use 1800 clockwork? Isa said. Certainly Eric can idea as wild as any of Isa. Can we climb it? He asked. I think that can be arranged. With a finger to her lips, Aunt Isa led Eric through the door at Big Ben pace. Quiet mice, they crept past the dozen men of 300 steps and through another door. Eric was speechless. About them hung three enormous bells and teasing web of ladders, cock, rose, and knob. The clock struck 12. Eric felt a vibration of every shimmy from the top of his head down to his toe. The closest thing he could compare it to be would be caught in a cab with his mom during a thunderstorm. Mom would love this, he said as he descended. I imagine she could. Isa agreed. We should be more behaved this time, Alisa whispered. They were waiting with other tourists to enter Westminster Palace. Don't want to upset a prime minister. Eric entered the door. The palace was beautiful. He liked learning about parliament debates in chambers like the House of Commons and how people began petitioning the king or queen. It was also interesting to remember that his modern city and country were ruled by Mormon. Eric was speechless. About the moon three enormous bells and teasing webbed the ladder, cocks, wheel, and knob. Then the clock struck 12. Eric felt a vibration of every chimney from the top of the head down his toe. The closest thing he could comprehend was being called a cab with his mom during the thunderstorm. Mom would love this, he said. Lady Saints. I imagine she could. Isaac agreed. We should. After dinner in a small place tucked away in the alley that may or may not have been a restaurant, Eric and now Isa wandered back to the hotel. This whole city is incredible, but Big Ben was my favorite part, Eric admitted. Isa looked at him with a spark in her eyes, just a regal woman grabbed in fury glide toward them. A scowling boy about Eric a trail behind her. My son doesn't appreciate infinite things, but perhaps you will, she said, thrusting the trinket in Eric's hand and marching off. The angry boys still in town. Eric looked out, astonished to find was holding a tiny version of the clock tower. It seemed just like a real one. The next morning, they rode red double-decker bus around the city, taking photos from the top. Then they had to catch a flight home. Eric couldn't believe the trip was already at an end. Once a few been bitten by travel bug, there's no going back. Aunt Isa warned us they unpacked Eric's suitcase together late that night. So next time my mom had to work. Can we take another trip? Can Sasa come? Eric asked before Aunt Isa could answer. The front door slammed. Mom! Eric shouted and then ran downstairs. Hey, buddy! His mom gave Eric a hug. What did you and Aunt Isa get up into this weekend? You won't even believe me. Eric began launching into a story of their trip. Just as Nancy finished, Aunt Isa came rushing downstairs. I got to go, she exclaimed, hugging the boat. Thanks for looking after Eric. Sounds like you had a quiet adventure. Eric's mom said with a wink. Anytime, Aunt Isa said. He heard she hurried outdoors. Don't you believe me?